not doing it right away, right?
No, it's time for
Yeah. Good morning. Welcome to the University Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. Welcome, welcome. I'm glad you're here today. My name is Paula Despang. My pronouns are she and her, and it's my privilege to be your service leader today. So as we settle into our shared sacred space, let's do this and silence this so that it won't disturb anybody else's concentration on the program. Yes. And what a peaceful room. I love this. Okay. We'll have committee moments. We'd like to hear from our committee people and then get them out of the way. Pick one.
I'll use red after my hand. So the Women's Social Network will meet on September 5th here for dinner. We'll have a potluck. And we're going to think of a different name to differentiate us from the women's support group. So come with some ideas and some food, and we'll see you on Friday night.
And a one, and a two. Derek, on behalf of Facilities and Grounds and Seating Surfaces. You might notice that we got the new chairs. It was a monumental effort, guys, I gotta say. When we got these pallets in, I couldn't even reach, I couldn't fit them in the door.
Yeah, is there any slide? Is there a slide, any pictures, or no? I didn't think it would have made.
It was quite the adventure
Here we
anyways.
go.
Yeah.
You can see how high the pallet is.
And we got Chad to come in and help us get rid of all the old ones. We had a theater bought some of them, so we'll make a few bucks back on that. And somehow we had 3 leftovers. I don't know how it happened, but they're in the back there, and they're really in pretty good shape. So free to a good home if you need some chairs, right back there. It's quite an effort. You might notice too, we got a new carpet.
I saw that.
And we got a new doorbells. They flash at request of the greeter team. So they're right there. So when you press it, it turns like blue and red and stuff like that. And it goes ding, and the back door goes the beginning of that song, somebody's knocking on the door, somebody's dinging, right? So it's like that, right? But that's the back door. So we're all set, right? I think we're all in good nick. And then a shout out to a person who sees something and does something, which I think is a great lesson for all of us, right? In that when you walk by the front door here, you might notice our little landscaping on the left and the right, and there's some flower pots, and there's some hedges, and there's these beds. And somebody saw that they were full of weeds and looking scraggly, and the plants were dead. And they took it upon themselves to plant new plants, trim the bushes, and pull the weeds. So thank you, Lorraine, for setting a great example. I think that's it for facilities and, there's 5 chairs out back that are trash. If somebody can help me find a place to put them, that's it.
We didn't want to forget Paul Chaland, who happened to be here picking up something for Evelyn, and just happened to be here at the right time and right place, and did a ton of work helping us with the cleaning up of that mess. So.
I'm Janet with programs. So, next Sunday, before the service, we're having our next New Inquiring Minds session. It will be open mic, so this is a great opportunity for you to come and discuss what's on your mind. It can be whatever you want, except we're not a support group, so personal problems for that. And if you have something to bring to the board, we're having a separate meeting with the board later this month. So anything except those. So I hope to see you there at 9 o'clock next Sunday in the library. The second announcement is that it's the beginning of the new year, and choir is starting up again. So this is a fantastic time. Just come check us out, okay? We're having our first rehearsal of the year next Sunday after the service. And, if you like to sing, just, come and see if you like it. We've had people who have never sung in a choir before, and we've had people who sung professionally. So we've had literally all levels in our group. So anyway, hope to see you next week.
Laura Owens with Social Action Committee. Just a reminder that today after services, we will meet, the Social Action Committee will meet, and we're really lucky this week because we get Reverend Kathy to come sit with us, so that's great. Also, I just want to remind people that the resource guide through the Social Action Committee, which is something that I put together with, and Miguel has done a lot as well, is a resource sort of post-election state of the union that we're in right now. There's a lot of different resources on there, which I won't go into, but please do check it out. If it's not for you, that's fine, but you will see it in the Notable News, a link. So just check it out, and if there's something that helps you, or you want to see more in there that we're not doing, let us know. Thank you.
Hi, Melanie. So this is sort of an addition to my report from last week, because somebody asked about the personnel number of 51,000. I totally forgot that for 2 months we were paying Reverend Tracy. Reverend Tracy was here last July and last August, so that's where part of that 51,000 went to. So I just wanted to let everybody know that. And secondly, we appreciate questions. So if anybody ever has a question, please ask. Publicly or privately, we will answer you to the best of our abilities. Just wanted to inform everybody.
Hi everyone, Tay with RE. So one, we have a new hire for the littlest UU room, Lana Major in the back. She will be joining us and helping out. So again, some of you might know her, she used to go through the RE program, but otherwise if you would like to say hi or anything, you can come back. We're here at 9:30 and then we're usually here a little after the service as well. And then on that note, today there is, as you know, I'm taking over helping planning with Pride for us. There is a Pride meeting at 1U that I have to get to as close to noon as possible. So if you signed up for the Pride Committee, you'll get more information tonight or tomorrow once I go to that meeting. But also that means we will be bringing kids back up by noon today, so maybe not the full 30 minutes after service that we're usually back there. So just wanted to give any parents a heads up that by noon we'll probably be bringing kids back up here. So thank you.
Allie Carville here for Pride shirt ordering. Today is the absolute last day to get your yellow side with love on the front, and then our slogan on the back with University UUs. See me after service if you'd like to get the shirt today. Thank you.
Rockstar, we love Allie. Hi, I'm Chloe McElroy. I use she, her pronouns. I'm here for representing youth group. We are not starting this today, Sunday, but we are starting next Sunday, the 7th. It will go from about 12:15 to about 1:45. The 12:15 start time is to let everybody have a little chance to grab some nosh before youth group, and then after the 1:45 end time is allowing anybody who wants to go to D&D afterwards, which starts at 2. And we welcome anyone from the ages of 12 to 18. Come see us in the youth group room. If you guys have any questions, you can come see me after service. Thank you.
Thank you. Martha with the Program Planning Committee, which will be a team soon. On the 13th, it says 10, but we really meant 10:30. So there'll be more to follow. But think about what you want to hear on Sunday mornings, what's important to you for the heart of this church, because it's a lot to put it together. And I'd really like the help, because I know there's a lot of intelligent people out there with big hearts, and you can make a difference. So please think about that. Saturday, September 13th at 10:30.
Sometimes we don't get any answers when we ask people in the congregation what they would like in terms of the program. And then we think, well, maybe we should just put whatever we want out there and they can take it or leave it. But it would be still, we kind of want you to stay here and like it and not leave us. So that's why we're asking for all the feedback and participation and stuff. My opening words are from Megan Visser. We enter this sanctuary for kindness and comfort. May rough-worn hands and aching backs be healed. We enter this sanctuary of hope for equality. May those who labor to survive live to know justice. We enter this sanctuary of love and vocation. May our bonds of solidarity be strengthened. We enter this sanctuary of courage and friendship. May we proceed hand in hand toward freedom. Opening music. Janet is in charge of the, yes, Amy and Janet.
Please rise in body or spirit. We're going to be singing, whoa, sorry about that. I'm not going to touch that. Hymn number 6, which is in the gray hymnals, which are now can be found underneath your new chairs, which is very exciting. In front of you. You want to give it a little intro? Just as long as I have breath, I must answer yes to life. Though with pain I made my way, still with hope I meet each day. If they ask what I did well, tell
chalice lighter today is Chase. He's a veteran at this. His pronouns are he and him, and he's happy that he rode his bike. Yeah. Oops, don't worry about it. Did you blow the candle out? I did. Okay, so hand it back to me and I'll blow it out. In the light of truth and the warmth of love, we gather to seek, to sustain, and to share. The candle is just a symbol. And we affirm our relationship in here. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its gift. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek truth and love, and to help one another. So, I just did something with my cheat sheet. It looks like what's going up there. So, yes, and I'm welcoming first all of our visitors today, and then I'm welcoming our members. Say hello to everybody near you. Wave to the people online. It's good to be here. Today we have an honest-to-God minister, but not always. Sometimes we have honest-to-God professors or leadership in honest-to-God social justice organizations, and sometimes we have our own fine members. So, different kinds of speakers and all manner of topics. You'll be amazed and delighted and edified. That's what. So, let us share some joys and concerns. We do that joys and concerns thing to know each other better, and because joys shared are multiplied, and concerns shared are divided, and the load is lightened. So if you had something to share with the entire online universe, come on up to the microphone in the front. How about your friend?
My joy is about my bike.
Good morning, I'm Lorraine. For those of you who have ever been on a Zoom call with me, you've met Mr. Pickles. Mr. Pickles is not doing so well right now. He's 12 years old, but he's normally very lively and excitable and all that, but there's something hurting him now, and I don't know what it is, and if I try to pick him up, he screams. And it's pretty serious, I think. So I would like I would say prayers, but good thoughts. And for Mr. Pickles, I'll take him to the vet in the morning and we'll see if we can figure it out.
Hi, I'm Alyssa. So I just have some concerns for some people in my life that have health issues going on right now. My dad has had an ongoing health struggle for a little bit, so just kind of keeping him in my thoughts. And then I just found out this morning, a friend of mine that's got a heart condition, she is in the hospital. It is a little bit of a good thing because they're actually taking her seriously. Sometimes they just kind of write off her stuff as, oh, it's anxiety, it's this, it's that, and this time they're actually, looking at what's going on and treating it the seriousness it needs, but just keeping them in our thoughts. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Miguel Rodriguez here. There's a concern. Stephen had a lightning storm that took out his air conditioning, and he wouldn't know that it would happen on a holiday weekend. Of course, and something about text are often not available. Fortunately, he has a separate freestanding room AC in his bedroom and lots of fans. So, yes. I also have joy myself. A couple weeks ago, there was a small family reunion, and there was this storm coming, and so we had the reunion, the party outside. We had to come inside the house, and I was bringing in my 94-year-old mother inside. She grabbed my arm, hand and arm, and then I looked behind me, and my cousin was bringing his 95-year-old mother in behind me. And I was just saying, what a beautiful picture that we are so blessed that we are alive to see our mothers at that age, and that we can bring them in, walk them in. And they were actually walking by themselves, mostly. Didn't need much help, but they're older and frayer and everything. And we're fortunate to see that, to be part of that, to do that. There are not a lot of young men in the world that have that blessing. If you talk about Russia and Ukraine, the wars, a lot of men will not get to walk their mothers in rooms or things like that. And one last, so that's a joy, and another last joy is for first time in 40 years since the movie came out, my girlfriend and I saw Kiss of the Spider Woman. And and that, it's like 1985, this movie actually won Academy Awards for a transgender and heterosexual / cis love. And there was in a fascist prison. And if you haven't seen that, I recommend it. And if you haven't seen that, I recommend seeing the update to it coming in October with Jennifer Lopez as the Spider Woman, and it's a musical. It's coming out. So teaches you a lot, and lots of things to be joyful for still and hopeful for. Keep hope alive.
Let's take a moment of silence for those things shared and those not shared. We know that some people are struggling and don't want to talk about it. May it be so. We have a time for all ages, and Reverend Kathy is going to do this. Don't go far. I'm not going far. I'm staying here.
All right, we have a skit for you today called The Beautiful Tiger. And it's from my colleague, Reverend Chris Bice in Tennessee Valley Unitarian Universalist Church. Paula will narrate for us. Our beautiful and powerful tiger will be played by Chloe. Dante will be the kind lion, and I will be the mean man.
I thought it was Paula's hat. It would have been well without it.
There once was a beautiful and powerful tiger. One day, she captured a mean and cruel man who put her into a cage. She was captured by a mean and cruel man who put her into a cage. The man kept the cage in the jungle not far from his house. Every day, he would bring out a bowl of water and some food for the lonely tiger. Sometimes the tiger would see her own reflection in the bowl of water, and she would say,
My, I must be a beautiful tiger.
When the man heard her say this, he would lie and tell her,
You are not a beautiful tiger. You are very ugly. You're a pitiful creature.
Sadly, the tiger came to believe the man. Some days, after she ate her food, she would walk back and forth in her small cage and feel energy and power moving through her body. And she would say,
Well, I must be a powerful tiger.
when the man heard this, he would lie to her and tell her,
You are weak and puny. You are a pitiful creature.
Sadly, the tiger came to believe this too. Then one day, when the man was nowhere to be found, a lion happened to walk by the cage. The lion saw the tiger inside and spoke.
Beautiful and powerful tiger, what are you doing lying in that cage?
Don't make fun of me. I know that I am neither beautiful nor powerful.
I'm not making fun of you. You are surely the most beautiful and powerful tiger I have ever seen. I'm only surprised to see you lying here when you are clearly strong enough to break out of that cage.
You really think I could break out of here?
Quite easily, I should think.
The tiger was not sure at first. She had been told so many times that she was a weak and pitiful creature, but suddenly it seemed she could feel energy and strength moving through her body. She began to pace back and forth in her cage, and then, almost without thought, she leaped against the cage door, and it flew open without any resistance. Once again, she seemed dazed.
That cage didn't even have a lock on it. I spent so much of my life stuck in there, and the door wasn't even locked.
The lion looked at her with soft brown eyes.
Those kinds of traps don't need locks, for it is the lies that we believe in that keep us in our cages, and it is the truth that sets us free.
Thank you. So, we'll have our interlude and offering, and I want to tell you some things about this song before we get anywhere near it. The lyrics to this song, work with me here. The lyrics to the Union song, Step by Step, are based on the preamble to the 1870 Constitution of the American Miners Union. Aha, see? And were later combined with an Irish tune by Pete Seeger, with later versions appearing in the preamble to the United Mine Workers Union Constitution, and the song "The Pirates They Grow Small" ultimately becoming the lyrics for the popular folk song. So, I turn this mic over to Gary, and that piano over to Janet.
Okay, this is a new one, so Janet will play the whole thing through once, and then we'll sing it twice, because it's only one verse. And 157 in your gray hymnal if you want. Step by step, the longest march can be won, can be won. Many stones can form an arch, singly none, singly none. And by union what we will can be accomplished still. Drops of water turn a mill, singly none, singly none. Step by step, the longest march can be won, can be won. Many stones can form an arch, singly none, singly none. and by union what we will can be accomplished still. Drops of water turn a mill, singly none, singly none.
Worked for a living all my life and never heard that before. So we'll sing the children out to their activities. We love you and bless you and send you on your way. We love you and bless you today and every day. Our speaker today, as I sort of bumbled into, is Reverend Kathy, and she's Kathy Schmitz, in case you didn't know, and she's going to talk to us about organized labor and about labor in general, how we're all working for a living, and yeah, bring it up here.
All right, we got some things to do before we have a sermon, so. Acknowledging that all of our ancestors are complex beings, often intermingling their gifts with their shortcomings, the words for our first reading come from the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. They are not all from one piece, but rather are gathered from multiple sources compiled into a reading which can be found in our gray hymnal. As labor is the common burden of our race, so the effort of some to shift the burden onto the shoulders of others is a great durable curse of the race. As I would not be a slave, so I would not be a master. This expresses my idea of democracy. Whatever differs from this, to the extent of the difference, is no democracy. Our reliance is in our love for liberty. Our defense is in the spirit which prizes liberty as the heritage of all people in all lands everywhere. Destroy the spirit, and we have planted the seeds of despotism at our doors. Those who deny freedom to others deserve it not for themselves and cannot long retain it. Why should there not be a patient confidence in the ultimate justice of the people? Is there any better or equal hope in the world? Let us have faith that right makes might, and that in that faith, let us to the end dare to do our duty as we understand it. The words for our meditation are slightly adapted from Amanda Eudice Kessler. Eudice Kessler is a queer feminist hymn writer, sacred music composer, writer, sociologist, lay preacher, and anti-racism educator who also, just makes me tired, this list, works as a college administrator in Colorado Springs. Her piece is titled, We Labor in Love. So I invite you to take a moment to bring yourself fully to the place where you are and to this time. Relax your body. Calm your mind. Feel your breath flowing in, flowing out. Breathe and hear these words. On Labor Day, we honor our work, physical and mental, paid and unpaid, joyous and heartbreaking. We give thanks for work's gifts, suffer its difficulties, and strive to make labor just and joyous for all. Our work can build our society, provide for our material needs, and give our life meaning. In these cases, we labor in gratitude. Our work can damage society and the planet, fail to sustain our material needs, and be meaningless. In these cases, we join together to create work that supports the well-being of all. Our work can heal the world, help us understand who we are, and keep us safe. In these cases, we labor in joy. Our work can harm the world, demean us, separate us, and expose us to danger. In these cases, we join together to create work that is safe and humane. Our work can fill our days with accomplishments and our lives with stories. In these cases, we labor in love. Our work can dissatisfy and alienate us. We may not be able to find enough work or any work. In these cases, we join together to create work that blesses us, all people, and the planet. This Labor Day and all Labor Days to come, may our work and all work serve humanity and all living beings. Let us take a moment together in shared silence. May our work and all work serve humanity and all living beings. Our second reading this morning comes from Hafiz, a Sufi poet who lived in 14th century Persia. Now, this piece has been translated, or rather interpreted, by Daniel Ladinsky. He's an American poet and interpreter of mystical poetry. I want to acknowledge that he is controversial, with some critics asserting that he strays too far from the original text. However, I've long used his work and through them came to appreciate Hafiz, so with that caveat, I will proceed. In this and in many of his writings, Hafiz writes of the friend, by which he means the divine or God or ultimate or all that is, and this he understands as love. When he speaks of being drunk, he means being drunk on love. I will add parenthetically to his words to help make this accessible for all. I used to live in a cramped house. I lived in a cramped house with confusion and pain. But then I met the friend, the divine, God, the ultimate, the force, all that is, and started getting drunk on love, and singing all night long. Confusion and pain, they started acting nasty and making threats with talk like this. If you don't stop that, all this fun, we're leaving. Let them go. All right. So, a story from the Hindu tradition as retold by Jack Cornfield and Christina Feldman. In India, hunters have a proven way of catching monkeys. A half coconut is hollowed out and a hole is made just large enough for a monkey's open hand to pass through. The coconut is then pinned to the ground and tempting food is placed underneath. A monkey would approach intent on getting the food beneath the coconut, but alas, as it grasped the food in its fist, it found itself unable to pull its hand and the food free from the coconut. Imprisoned, it would stay, caught by its own unwillingness to open its fist. Imagine the pain and confusion of the monkey, trapped in a cage without bars, trapped by an unwillingness to let go, trapped by greed, trapped by survival instinct, by an instinct that has been exploited. How will the monkey get free? Probably it will not, because we are told that it is a proven way of catching monkeys. But let's imagine that it's possible. It seems to me there are two basic paths which will free the monkey. Either the monkey will figure out the puzzle on its own, or it will need help. To figure out the puzzle on its own, the monkey will have to have some insight. The monkey will have to let go of something it wants, perhaps of something it needs. And this will not come easily, especially in the midst of pain and confusion. For surely, when we are trapped, we are inclined, as the poet Hafiz suggested, to live in a house with pain and confusion. I used to live in a cramped house with pain and confusion. I don't know about you, but I do not think very clearly when I am cramped with pain and confusion. But if we can stop in the midst of the swirl of chaos around us, perhaps we can find a way. The best way out of a swirl of chaos might just be spiritual insight. For Hafiz, that way was an encounter with the divine, the one he calls the friend. Your path may vary, but what is it that grounds you? When all around you seems to be commotion and confusion, what can restore peace to your heart and mind? Do you know? Returning to your breath? A song? Coming into community? Maybe an image or a walk in nature. What is it for you? If you don't know, I do encourage you to find out. For like the monkey, we all get trapped at times and find ourselves in a swirl of chaos when we will best free our hand if we first free our mind. Sometimes we can free ourselves, but sometimes insight comes from a source beyond ourselves, a community, a friend. If only the lion who encouraged the beautiful tiger in our earlier story would happen by. The lion's words inspired the tiger to take action that freed the tiger from the cage in which she had so long lived. If only the lion had words of encouragement for our monkey, helping it to know that freedom was within its grasp or within its non-grasp. If only. How shall we judge the menagerie of characters we have before us? What do we think of the beautiful and powerful tiger?
She's pretty awesome.
Yeah. What do we think of the mean and cruel man? What do we think of the lion? What do we think of the monkey, of the hunters? And who would you like to be in these stories? What do we think about people and the predicaments they find themselves in? What do we think of the systems which perpetuate, and dare I say, the traps and tend the cages? Which perpetuate and set the traps and tend the cages. On this Labor Day weekend, I want to consider just one little spiritual dimension about how we think about how we compensate and care for workers in our society. What do we owe our workers at a minimum? As I look at the various proposals that are part of the public conversation, I realize that where one falls on this topic is likely informed by some basic theology. Now, one branch of theology is anthropology. Anthropology, from a theological point of view, asks, what are your basic assumptions about humankind? We might ask questions about whether we think people are good or bad, whether they started that way, whether they were born as blank slates or with some part of their unique self pre-wired. What's nature? What's nurture? We might further ask how people are motivated. By reward? By punishment? By health care? By living wage, by fear, by hope, by love? Many of our ideas about government and therefore politics depend at their root on our anthropology, our assumptions about humankind. And while it's not my focus today, I do note that these assumptions also influence our ideas about community, family, and friendships. So during this time when our society feels like we live in a swirl of chaos, where there seems to be so much pain and confusion, it may be helpful to consider how we calm our minds and clear our thinking so that our thoughts and words and deeds help move us in the direction we want to go. To that end, I thought it would be useful to encourage thoughtful reflection about our basic assumptions. Each of us individually has our own thoughts. I don't begin to believe that we all make the same assumptions, which means ultimately that we're unlikely to draw the same conclusions. So in the months ahead, I hope you will talk about amongst yourselves, not just about what distresses you in the world, but about your hopes for the world and your opinions on policies that might move us forward. I hope you will also talk about the deep assumptions underlying your hopes and fears and opinions. We can practice with each other here in this supportive community, and this will better prepare us to expand our practice of thoughtful and respectful conversation beyond these walls. By way of example, let me just share my own reflections just briefly. I have an optimistic view of human nature. I have long thought of this as articulated in our first Unitarian Universalist principle, which says we affirm and promote the inherent worth and dignity of every person. It's not so much that I think people are good, but rather that I think they have the possibility to be or do good. And I'm using good as a really big word here. I also think people have the possibility to be or to do bad. For me, our job as individuals is to nurture the tendency to be and do good, and to diminish our tendency toward the bad. And although I have been given plenty of reasons to think otherwise in recent years, I still have confidence in our ability to do that. I think it is possible for people to choose to be and to do good. I also think they can be assisted by efforts in our institutions. Can be, could be, might be supported by our institutions. But the truth is, I'm a little less optimistic about institutions. I believe they too can be good or bad, and that we have to work to accentuate the good. It's just that I think individuals will tend to move toward good, and I think institutions, and I'm talking here about governments, corporations, religions, and economic systems, are a little more likely to drift in a negative direction. What about you? What do you think deep down? Every time I consider these questions, I gain new insight and new questions. Now, I've lived with these views as long as I can remember, but more recently I've gained a clearer acceptance that these views, my views, are assumptions. Assumptions that are not necessarily shared by everyone else. And once I realized this, it became easier to see how others were drawing different conclusions about things like public policy. We get stuck in arguments about policy up here when our real disagreement is about values deep inside. So I realized that I support a minimum wage, preferably a living wage, because I believe anyone who works full-time should be able to live above the poverty line. Worth and dignity, goodness and possibilities. I believe people want to support themselves, that they want meaningful work, and that we need systems that help people achieve this. If we have jobs that our society that need doing in our society, then we should be willing to pay fairly to have them done. One of the things that horrifies me about the current debate around immigration is the apparent assumption that by some that it is okay to treat immigrants poorly, that they can be underpaid and overworked and denied basic rights because they are, I don't know, not us. Lincoln said that our defense is in the spirit of which prizes liberty as the heritage of all people in all lands everywhere, not just our circle. I also support a minimum wage because I believe that corporations and economic systems and governments, while they may have mission statements and visions and grand ideals, are much more susceptible to what we might call integrity drift. I don't think they can be counted on to do the right thing without constant vigilance. Again, using our immigrant friends and neighbors as examples, I think some people intentionally keep the immigration processes difficult and confusing specifically because it allows immigrant workers to be exploited. When it comes down to this, I trust the human conscience and I have less confidence in the idea of a corporate conscience. And so I believe that well-crafted regulations help institutions to do and to be good. And one of those regulations is minimum wage. What about you? What do you think and why? What are your most basic assumptions about humans and human relations and human institutions? And so, a monkey has its hand trapped in a coconut, and it won't let go. Silly monkey. A person has a low-wage job that won't pay the bills. They won't quit and get a better job. Silly person. Why don't you just get a better job? But when we look at the system that has laid the trap, we may see that things are a bit more complicated. Does a lack of education, a felony conviction, or health concerns limit the options? Does racism, sexism, or any other ism make this easier said than done? Do family concerns and generational trauma create barriers? And why are we laying traps to begin with? Are we not the land of the free? Did I mention that I believe human institutions tend to have integrity drift? That I think they need help to live up to their highest ideals? Abraham Lincoln said, "Our reliance is in our love for liberty. Our defense is in the spirit which prizes liberty as the heritage of all people in all lands everywhere." And so shouldn't we be looking for ways not to put people in cages, but rather to free them at a minimum? To end, I offer once more the words of the Sufi poet Hafiz as rendered by Daniel Ladinsky. The short piece is titled Dropping Keys. Small people build cages for everyone they know, while the sages, who have to duck their heads when the moon is low, keep dropping keys all night long for all the beautiful, rowdy prisoners. May we be those who drop keys. May it be so.
Drop your keys now. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth. And we have closing music. I know it says Martha, but Martha's voice isn't working quite well.
So please stand if you're willing and able. This is 118 in the hymnal, okay. John, give us a short intro. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Building up a world, I'm gonna let it shine. Building up a world, I'm gonna let it shine. Building up a world, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
My closing words come from halfway around the world. May you be happy. May you be peaceful. May you be free from suffering. May you love yourself with great kindness, just as you are, no matter what happens. Do we have a postlude? We have no postlude. Dash over there and get coffee and cakes. Oh, and bagels.
Thank you, darling.
Thank you. You make me sound so cool. You give me things to say.
You know, I've done versions of everything before, so I had to choose more of the things, and I introduced the hymns and so on. I didn't always have a thing to say, but
Well, and the thing is,